Saturday edition of the 9 p.m. Do stay with us. Up next is Real Politic with Navika Kumar. This weekend she is chatting with Ajay Maken.
Ajay Maken is the General Secretary in charge of communications in the All India Congress Committee, but has been shadowing Rahul Gandhi and working on the Congress Party's media strategy for the last few months. On the Real Politic today, the man we are going to interview is the man who has been minister but left his portfolio to join the Congress Party and has been shadowing Rahul Gandhi over the last few months. In fact, it was at his press conference that Rahul Gandhi came in suddenly and made an impromptu announcement tearing apart the government's ordinance and became the young man in the Congress to take on the government and all that it had done. Ajay Maken, the man who plans the Congress's media strategy on the day-to-day basis and is going to have a more vital role in the run-up to the elections of 2014. Mr. Ajay Maken, welcome to the Real Politic. It's been a long day for you yesterday, the AICC session, but somewhere, not making the announcement announcing Rahul as the prime ministerial candidate. Has it taken the sheen away from this AICC session?
No, I don't think so. Like Rahulji's speech yesterday, I think galvanized and motivated the workers across the country. And if you look at Rahulji's speech, he came out like a statesman when he said about the idea of India, the ideology of Congress Party. He linked it to the idea of India. When he said that we are all trustees of this idea, which is bigger than any individual, I think he came out very well as a statesman. And when he was in his combative mode, he came out like a true leader. And also when he said we would like to give powers to the workers, he came out like a leader who is willing to lead the Congress Party to 2014 elections. There is no confusion in our party that Rahul Gandhi is going to lead us to 2014 election, and Rahulji is our leader.
He quoted the Constitution. He said that in the Constitution it is the legislators who elect the Prime Minister. Can I quote to you two instances in the Congress history itself where the Constitution was not even thought about? In 1984, when Rajiv Gandhi was made the Prime Minister, he was declared the Prime Minister by a small group of people immediately after the assassination of Indira Gandhi, and everybody else fell in line. Second time, when Dr. Manmohan Singh was announced in 2004, no, I'm not even talking about 2004, a group of people immediately after the assassination of Indira Gandhi, and everybody else fell in line. Second time, when Dr. Manmohan Singh was announced in 2004, no, I'm not even talking about 2009. In 2004, the mandate was for Sonia Gandhi. It wasn't the legislators who chose Manmohan Singh. It was she who nominated Manmohan Singh. Yeah. Where was the constitution of the Congress Party then?
Times, I think you have mentioned two occasions. In 1984, the circumstances were totally different. We had to announce the Prime Minister because the circumstances on the streets of Delhi, soon after Indiraji's death, was something we needed a Prime Minister at that time. We needed a leader to control different things which were happening in the streets of Delhi at that time. In 2004 also, when Sonia ji decided, the Congress Parliamentary Party, the legislative party of our parliamentary party, they decided finally that Manmohan Singh should be...
The man Manmohan Singh was Sonia Gandhi's choice. No, he was not the choice of the legislator.
But again, we did go with Manmohan Singh ji's name to the people of this country. Sonia ji proposed it before to the parliamentarians only. She didn't go to the people saying that we are going to have Manmohan Singh ji as our Prime Minister.
So the Constitution comes in handy when you want to use it.
What Rahul ji said was that why should we go to the people with our Prime Ministerial candidate when it is just the parliamentarians who have to decide. The members of the legislative, they have to decide. So you are taking the name before the members of the legislative, which is perfectly okay as per the Constitution. We are not taking it to the people before we are taking...
but the same legislators want Rahul Gandhi to lead them as the prime ministerial candidate so that they can show their cadres that they are ready for a fight.
Yes, but there is no dispute at all. Where is in BJP there was a dispute whether Narendra Modi should lead, whether either of the leader of oppositions in Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha should lead, whether LK Advani should lead. In Congress party there is no dispute at all. Everyone thinks that Rahul ji is our leader. Everyone wants Rahul ji to be the Prime Minister. Where is the dispute? We are just following the constitutional norms. Number one, we are not trying to put cart before the horse. The only thing is that first let the people elect parliamentarians, like it had happened in 84, like it happened in 2004. The parliamentarians were elected. Then in both the cases, parliamentarians finally elected their leaders as prime ministerial candidate. I don't think that there is anything wrong what he quoted. It is perfectly all right.
You're saying it's not disputed. You're saying it's not disputed. Then if it's not disputed, where is the harm in stating the obvious?
Well, we have never done it before the elections in the past.
Mr. Maken, your critics say that you're trying to insulate Rahul Gandhi. You're trying to say that in 2014, which is an uphill task, you've seen the going wasn't very good for the Congress party in the recent state assembly elections, and therefore you're very, very careful. You are insulating Rahul Gandhi. If there is a loss, then it is the party's loss. If there is a victory, it is Rahul Gandhi's victory.
It's absolutely wrong. If you look at the history, always the elections preceding the Lok Sabha elections are totally different, rather most of the times opposite. The results are opposite to that of what the Lok Sabha elections results show. In 2009, before that, out of 4 states, we lost 3 states. 3 big states we lost, only Delhi we won. But in 2009, we won 206 seats. In 2003 also, we couldn't do well. In 2003, it was Delhi only we could win. But after that, we came back with such a big majority. In 1998, we won in all the states, whereas in 1999, we lost badly our parliament elections. So historically, whatever the results of these assembly elections preceding Lok Sabha elections are, it is totally opposite in the Lok Sabha general elections. So why should we be afraid of this? These elections, if there is any indicator of the past, we are going to do very well. If you look at the past precedents, always it has been opposite. So now also there is no reason for us to worry.
Mr. Rahul Gandhi, in his speech yesterday, was charged up. He was the angry young man. He was trying to arouse the passions of the cadre. He connected, something that he has not done before. Last January, when he was crowned the vice president, it was an emotional speech, but this one was aimed at arousing the passions of the cadre. Why has Rahul Gandhi waited so long to strike that chord with the cadre?
Well, I don't think that you can compare Rahul Gandhi ji now, who was just a day before it was decided in the Congress Working Committee, extended Working Committee meeting, that he'll lead us to the campaign of 2014. In one day's time, he delivered with a motivational speech which has enthused the cadre throughout the country. It is just in matter of 24 hours that he did so. Last time, in January 2013, he was a general secretary who was promoted as a vice president and asked to take over the reins of the Congress party. So these are two different Rahul Gandhis at different positions that you are talking about.
Do you think that if he had done this before, struck this chord with the cadres before, the Congress would have been in a much stronger position?
Well, first of all, I think always he has been striking a chord with the cadre. Always. And wherever in
but they've always seen him as somebody who's reluctant to take the top job.
It is all media which has been making this. That he is reluctant. He was never reluctant. Always he has said, as he has repeated again and again, that he is willing to take any responsibility the party wants him to take. So where is he being reluctant? He was general secretary earlier, then he became the president, vice president. Now he has been. It has been decided that he'll lead the Congress party to 2014 elections. So where is the reluctance?
Mr. Ajay Maken, the speech itself, it had 3 basic points. Let me come to the first point. The first point that he made, which was departure and a new thought process that he was trying to bring in, is the 15 seats on which there will be direct elections, where there will be primaries, there will be pradhans who will be choosing their candidates from their areas. It's been something that Rahul has spoken to us off record several times, but it's the first time it's been translated. Now, 15 out of 543 seats, that is 2.76%. Less than 3%.
Listen, it has
Is this too little too late?
No, absolutely not. You should look at the intentions of our leader. You should look that he said that this is just a first phase. This is something which is just experimental in nature. He is starting with 15. So it doesn't mean that we are going to stop at 15. So this is something which we are starting with. He intends to have all these 542 seats of Lok Sabha and all legislatures, everywhere, every candidate announcement should be done by the people, should be done by the primaries, should be done by the pradhans. This is what he intends to. And for the first time, any party in our independence history has come up with this idea. He did it in the Youth Congress and in NSY. In Youth Congress, we've got 79,40,000 they are the members of Youth Congress, and they have elected 5,04,000 office bearers of the Youth Congress.
But it hasn't changed much at the party level, really.
No, in party level, he has just assumed the charge as vice president just in January last year. And after that, he has come up with open manifesto.
And last year he said he would change the party in ways that you cannot even imagine. How long is he going to take to do that?
He said, and he has started. He has started with open manifesto. He started with the Chief Minister's conference, wherein he wanted the Chief Ministers to remove the vegetables and other fruits from the APMC list. He has set up manifesto implementation committees in Congress ruled states. He has opened up the party in a big way. And by having 15 for Lok Sabha, 15 seats, having direct elections is something which is a very powerful idea, and it is going to change the way parties run in a big way.
Mr. Maken says it is a powerful idea, but Rahul Gandhi came up with populist ideas also in yesterday's speech. We'll discuss those after this short break. The question that I really want to ask Ajay Maken is the real reason behind Rahul Gandhi's refusal to don the prime ministerial candidate mantle from the Congress party. Is the constitution the real reason behind this, or is the Congress trying to insulate Rahul Gandhi from a possible loss in 2014, given the fact that the party is facing an uphill task, facing 10 years of anti-incumbency of the UPA government? Mr. Maken, there's also the issue of women. He said half the population of this country is women. Now, 33% reservation for women, the women's reservation bill is something that's been close to Sonia Gandhi's heart. You could bring in, Rahul Gandhi could bring in change into his party by giving 33% tickets to women candidates. He hasn't done that. That would have been a powerful idea. You're talking about 15%, which is 15 seats, which is less than 3% of the Lok Sabha seats, as the powerful idea. It's a minuscule idea. This could be a powerful idea. Why is he not implementing something like this?
I'm so happy that you've asked this. Rahul Gandhi ji, before January last year, was General Secretary in charge of frontal organization, thereby meaning the Youth Congress, NSY and other frontal organizations. In Youth Congress, I would like to tell you, as I have said earlier, that in total we've got 79.40 lakh members of the Youth Congress, out of which we have 5,04,000 office bearers. 25% of this are women office bearers. And there is mandatory, it is mandatory that out of 10 total elected office bearers at every level, there is mandatory for reservation of 5 people, out of which 40% have to be reserved for women.
Mr. Maken, when is Rahul Gandhi coming to the big stage? The small stage is fine. He's done that. He's made a difference, if you say so. But when is he going to make the change on the big stage, national stage?
Listen, I'm very happy that you've asked this. When a person is General Secretary in charge of frontal organization, Youth Congress, he'll do it, implement it in the Youth Congress, no? And when he is given charge of leading the entire country, the Congress party's campaign, he'll do it for the Congress party. He was announced as a person to lead Congress into 2014 elections just 2 days back. And you are asking him in 24 hours to do...
no, he became the Vice President last year. It's 365 days today, to the date.
We have a President who is herself a lady, a woman. And this is the Congress party, and for the first time we had President, Speaker and the President of Congress party, all 3 women. So you can't question this to the Congress party, which already has 33% reservation.
But you haven't implemented. The point I'm making, you haven't implemented in your party. These are the big ideas that he could have brought to the table, but I'll take you to another question.
No, let me first answer this fully. Look, party doesn't grow from the top. The party grows from the bottom. So from Youth Congress, NSY, the party grows, and the cadre grows from Youth Congress, NSY, and they come up to the highest level. So unless he would have done at the Youth Congress, NSY level, it would have been just impossible to do at the highest level. So what he has started is he has started from the NSY Youth Congress level. Then these leaders gradually go up the ladder and up to the senior Congress, and that is what he has started.
Okay, Mr. Maken, I'll take you up on that sentence, that the party grows from the bottom. The party grows from the bottom, and yesterday what was on display was that when the bottom asks for something, nothing happens, but when the top asks for something, it happens in minutes, which is the LPG cylinders, and that is pure populism. If yesterday's speech was talking about rejuvenating a cadre, it was also playing the populist card yesterday. Let me ask you the question. Don't get all hassled before I ask you the question.
I'm happy that you are asking.
See, members of parliament led by Sanjay Nirupam last week went and met Petroleum Minister Veerappa Moily. They have been asking this for last 1 year because the rollback from 6 to 9 cylinders happened in January of 2013. For 1 year, several MPs have been asking the Congress party to roll back the LPG cylinder cut, the subsidized LPG cylinder cut, to the level of 12 cylinders. It didn't happen when the MPs asked. But when Rahul Gandhi announced it from the stage yesterday, within minutes we had the petroleum minister saying, we are doing it, it's going to the cabinet. Now 3 cylinders.
Ajay, let me tell you, it is not that he announced. He requested the Prime Minister and he echoed the views of Congress, ordinary Congress people, ordinary women folk of the country. He echoed the voice before the Prime Minister and...
the MPs had been doing it, so you don't listen to your MPs?
No, it is not like this. It is MPs, they make their populist demands, but when it comes to the AICC session wherein Rahulji raised this issue, this was something which would have made them clear, categorically clear, that this is something which people generally they want, and that is what they have done it. So we should be very happy.
Is it the Aam Aadmi Party effect?
No.
They're giving 700 liters of free water, 50% cut in electricity bills. Are you forced by that?
On your television channels, you have been so critical of Congress party, all the channels, day in and day out, why 9 cylinders, why 9 cylinders, and now when Rahulji asked and when Rahulji requested the leadership of the government to do it, they have done, we all should be very...
Because he's also been saying that think long term. Now is, bringing people back to the level of 12 cylinders where they started life last year, bringing them back to the same point, really justified enough in terms of a freebie to the people?
Please be a bit kind to us. You criticize us when we bring it down to 9. You criticize us when we bring it back to 12. Please don't be always critical.
Okay, we won't be always critical, but yesterday Rahul Gandhi was critical of Narendra Modi. It's probably the first time he's made a direct attack at Narendra Modi by saying, referring to the Congress Mukt Bharat the phrase that Narendra Modi has been using, but he still didn't name him. Do you think in the run-up to 2014, we're going to see a lot more direct attack from Rahul Gandhi to Narendra Modi, his principal opponent in the electoral space for 2014?
Well, I don't know what in future is in store as far as what Rahulji will say. This is something which the time will tell. But I can just tell you one thing, that the Congress party doesn't believe in personal attack. And anyone doing personal attack, we do not support that view of any person attacking personally.
Not even when Mani Shankar Iyer calls Modi a tea seller, a tea vendor?
I strongly denounce what Mani Shankar Iyer said. I very strongly feel, the Congress party very strongly feels that he shouldn't have said what he said yesterday about Mr. Narendra Modi. Congress party doesn't believe in such things the way Mr. Mani Shankar Iyer said yesterday.
Do you believe that the next elections are going to be Rahul Gandhi versus Narendra Modi, or is there a third angle, which is the Aam Aadmi Party Arvind Kejriwal angle?
Well, let us see how things unfold. But as far as the Congress party is concerned, we are going ahead with our own positive agenda, with our own agenda of the good governance of UPA 1 and 2, with Rahulji taking up reins of the Congress party, with Rahulji categorically saying that 3 anti-corruption and transparency bills have been passed, 6 more should be passed. His stand against corruption and inclusive growth policy of the Congress party. These are the things which we are going to take up with the people, go in with our own positive agenda to the people. We don't care about the other parties.
Well, the Congress party, you say, is determined to fight corruption. 6 bills coming in the last session of the 10-year rule of the UPA government, and you say you are very, very serious about fighting corruption. Why should people believe you?
It's a very good question that you've asked. these bills which are pending, which we want to clear it in the last session, is not something which has been brought in just now. These bills have been pending in the parliament since many years, and many times in parliament, both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, the opposition has not let us function. The 3 bills also which we have passed, 9 of these bills in the history of Indian parliamentary democracy, never so many bills have been passed in our parliament. BJP and NDA also had got an opportunity for 6 years. They couldn't come up with a single legislation to fight corruption. We have come up, 3 have been passed, 6 are in the pipeline. So I think this is an impressive track record.
We will wait to see whether the bills will help you win elections of 2014 or whether it's the direct fight between Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi, the personality clash, which is going to catch people's imagination.
As Maken tried to decode Rahul Gandhi version 2.0 for us after yesterday's AICC session, we tried to ask questions on the other big challenge for the Congress party, the Aam Aadmi Party. Ajay Maken, you are a member of parliament from Delhi, and Delhi is the city-state which has seen the Congress getting the biggest drubbing in the recent elections. Do you think the Aam Aadmi Party is likely to have a larger impact in urban centres across the country, at least across North India, in states like Haryana? How do you see this entire phenomenon of the Aam Aadmi Party?
Well, if you talk about Aam Aadmi Party, I think Rahul ji yesterday very aptly said about some political parties who have opened up a hair cutting saloon for people without any hair. So these are the people who have been successfully able to sell a dream to people of Delhi.
But in that dream, they brought the Congress down to 8
but let me finish. That's why we supported their manifesto. We thought that...
Isn't that suicidal?
No. We thought that, look, we should be giving them a chance to...
Only to keep the BJP out?
No, not to keep BJP out. Because we want people to know if they can fulfill the dream, and also to us to know whether they can do it or not. Because we have been in power...
So it's an experimentation stage?
Because we know it very well. We have been in power since last 15 years. And we know it very well that what was promised in their manifesto is something which is impossible to implement. As far as their charges of corruption or graft are concerned, in this era of right to information, all the files are out in the open. And we had a hostile CAG who had, so there's nothing to hide for
and what do you think of Arvind Kejriwal threatening to do a demonstration and a dharna outside the Home Minister's office?
These kind of theatrics are good as NGO, are good as an opposition party leader, but as a chief minister you are expected to deliver, not to do dharnas. So we have supported their manifesto. We want them to perform on the basis of their manifesto. And
how long is this support going to carry on?
Well, as our PCC president of Delhi has said, as long as he keeps on fulfilling the manifesto, we are supporting him. But we don't see it going through.
Is the Congress giving the Aam Aadmi Party a long rope? Is this experiment of the Congress party an experiment? Because in the run-up to 2014, the Congress almost seems to have given up the fight, and this is the phase to experiment. Those are the questions that we will be looking at this week on Real Politics. Ajay Maken, next week we'll get you more about the real politics behind the scenes.